All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for ReZero, Season 2, Episode 15.
Oh
aka
boy.
Part 2, Episode 2.
Of Season 2.
Of Season 2.
222.
Uh-huh.
But...
Otto.
Honestly, I didn't expect to get this far. But yeah, the plans have been thrown awry a little bit, but thankfully they have planned plenty. And now Garfield must face his most dangerous and fearsome enemy yet. A traveling merchant.
Yeah, is Morning Wood analogous to the feeling we all had with Otto the last episode? Because we had an Otto boner.
No.
So, we woke up and it was automatic boner.
I think Morning Wood just happens when he's making an early day delivery on his carriage.
Ah, right.
It's just, yeah.
And he's just talking to Patrash, and it's just like, yes.
Anyways, here we are. Emilia went off because Subaru didn't stay by her bedside because she asked for basically a sixth of the remaining time.
Yeah, and he needs to scheme.
He's got
so
scheduling.
He kind of failed her in that regard. But,
yes, but he went after
her. He seemed to probably know that she would be here based on the iteration where she fell into despair inside the trial chamber.
Probably.
And he said, Emilia Tan. So
right. And we have a bet going with Roswell to see if Subaru can use his chat energy to basically be like, no. You may be an ancient, epic level wizard.
Right.
But your philosophy and your way of life is bullshit. And quite frankly, we should be doing things my way, and I'm going to show you why.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Hell yes.
Let's go. One iteration. All perfect. Let's like not speed run this. Let's like any percent, 100% win rate, know. Let's get this bread. Yeah.
I prefer the real Roswell. Perfection.
Yes, perfection. Yeah. But okay, Emilia, let's save her heart. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Okay.
Oh! Wait! Oh!
Wait, what?
Oh my god! So your next line will be...
So that's what Subaru was doing all night, I guess. Oh my god.
What the heck?
Otto is terrifying when he wants to be.
Way to go, Otto! Wow!
I thought he was just gonna talk to him. But no. Oh, backstory!
Oh, Otto! Oh! Yeah!
Sure.
Yes! Oh,
awesome.
that'll hit you right in the feels! Oh! 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 Oh!
Okay.
Oh! And he finally made a connection!
Yep.
He heard her say his name!
Yeah.
Oh! Whoa. Wow. Whoa.
Cool.
And don't get scared of him. Okay, good.
Cool.
Keep it positive.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Oh, another sibling.
Oh, and he's pretending to be all like... Oh, in his fantasy land, Oh, wait,
Oh,
no.
he actually did it.
Oh my god! Oh! They go to another magic user and have them do something.
Crazy information network.
Well, but also, they're not coming out as voices.
わかりましたよ。君はどうやら8番目の恋人です。ひどい。 町の権力者の娘を敵に回し、故郷を追放されまして。
Okay,
Wow.
yeah, do it. Do it.
So that's why he has to be a traveling merchant. He can't stay in any one place. Oh.
And then...
Oh no.
Oh.
おやおやおや、そんなに急いでどちらに行くのです。
No, what are they gonna do to his animal? No.
No, that's not. Oh, yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
なんだよ。死なないで。
Yeah.
僕の人生は涙を流すたびに生まれ変わることを実感する。
Oh, God.
それも計算予定通りなんですから。
Oh! Please don't die. It's like, you'd be surprised what money can buy.
Exactly. I'm a goddamn Batman.
Oh, shit. Oh! Yeah.
まだ勝負わからん。
何もさせねえ。ここまでやれると本気で思っちゃいなかった。
僕の個人戦はここまでってことにしましょう。
Oh! He's passing it on to Ram!
Hell yeah!
Oh, let's go! Yes!
All right.
Oh my god!
そんなに野郎に信じる価値があんのか。
夏希さんに価値？いや、価値の有無って話になるとないんじゃないですかね。
バルスは弱くて使えなくて、お茶一つまともに入れられない無能だもの。バルスはここ一
Yes!
He's like,
タ
Yes!
イミングのいい音。
Uh-huh! Uh-huh! Oh, he's transforming now. He's like, I've had it with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're finally gonna go all out, like... Oh!
I love it.
She's doing it! I mean, is he actually taking any damage, though? That's...
Probably not.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Otto, what are you doing? What are you doing?
No.
He's in a rage! Buddy! Buddy, you have to live! Alright. Yep, let's get that magic
Oh,
going.
got him in the face. He lives in that place.
Well, not necessarily. Let's see. Yeah.
安心しただけ。怒ったりしてない。
怒っちゃいないよ。焦りもしたし、正直生きた心地がしなかったけど。
そっか。怒ってないんだ。
Why?
怒ってもくれないんだ。どうして？怒ってくれないの？
Right.
どうして約束守ってくれなかったの？
Yep.
スバルの嘘つき。バックの嘘つき。嘘つき。
俺は君が好きだ。毎夜同じ試練に何度も突っかかりやがって、代わりにやってやろうとすりゃ私がやらなきゃって意地張りやがって、結果失敗じゃ口先ばっかじゃねえか。挙句ペット兼保護者がいなくなったら役目も放り出して大泣きしてふてねかよ。いい加減付き合いきれねえぜ。
He's pulling a Rem.
Yeah.
けど俺は君が好きだよ。エミリア、好きでどうしようもないくらい好き
Wow.
だ。
That's straight up a line
Yeah.
that Rem said, isn't it?
Yeah.
超綺麗な
It's very similar, yeah.
潤んでて宝石みたいな歯根の目も好き。
Yeah, and then the going into exact details.
Yeah.
ちょっと抜けてるとこも好きだし、何でも一生懸命なとこもいいし、 自分のことを後回しにするとこはほっとけないって思うし、君の全部の表情を隣でずっと見てたいって思ってる。
ふざけないでよ。なんで急にそんなこと言うの？そんな話してなかったじゃない。スバルは私が点でダメだって、私なんか見てられないって。だったらどうしてダメな私を許
This
す
is good.
俺が君を好きだからだよ。演しても女神でもない普通の子
That is very good to
辛くて泣きた
understand.
くなる
Yeah.
ってあるし、嫌なことから逃げたくなる気持ちがあるのも分かってる。俺はエミリアって存在が丸ごと好きなんだ。
信じられるわけない。
Yeah, yeah.
Love isn't logical.
何がどうだから信じられる。だから好きだ。
Yeah.
そうじゃねえんだ。
Right, right.
君が好きだ。
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Oh.
信じる理由になんてならない。
Who said anything about reason?
Reason has nothing to do with it.
誰が好き好んでお前みたいな面倒な女のためにこんな苦しい思いまでして助けに来なきゃならねえんだ。
スバルが私のせいでいつも傷ついてるの。どんな気持ちで見てるか全然分かってない。お願いしたこと守ってくれたらそれでいいのに、私のこと本当は嫌いなんでしょ。
好きだ。
嘘つき。
嘘じゃねえ。お前が
Wow.
だったらどうして約束を破ったの？
You still haven't answered that, Subaru.
Yep, that's true.
3 times now she's asked.
守って朝まで一緒にいてくれたら、きっと私スバルを信じられた。バックがいなくなって記憶がちょっとずつ
Yeah, yeah.
来たの。記憶が全部戻った時、私どうなるの？大事なこといっぱい忘れて、母様のことも忘れて。
It's just funny though because that came from Echidna, you know,
変わらないよ。
which that line very much fits for her.
Oh yeah. There's ways to take it in a very dark way, and there's ways to take it in a very
Oh, oh.
そう言ってくれる私、いなくなってもまだそんな風に
言える。
嘘つきのくせに信じさせてくれなかったくせに。
なら信じさせてやる。
not the time.
嫌なら避けろ。
Then dodge.
Dodge.
Wait.
Why didn't you dodge? All right.
Oh. Wow.
Okay. That was such a Subaru way of doing things.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
どんなにダメなとこ見ても、
Oh.
こんな風に言い合っても、それでも俺は変わらずエミリアを好きなままだ。
Ah.
知らない記憶が溢れてきて不安に思って怖いのも当然だ。でも歩いた道は消えない。
そんな風に言えるの？
大事なのは最初じゃない、最後だからだ。俺の世界一尊敬する女の人が言ってた。俺がエミリアを好きな気持ちで突っ走れるみたいに、エミリアもいろんな不安を蹴っ飛ばして突っ走れるようになる大事な気持ちをだよ。その
Oh.
大事な気持ちが俺に向けられるのを期待したいとこだけどね。
この記憶を全部取り戻した中にあるのかな、私の大事な気持ち。
Possibly.
きっとあるぜ。
Yeah.
いやー、待たせたな。
別に待っちゃいねえよ。
Okay.
I hope that's his blood. Okay. All right.
All
That
right.
was-
That was a
Otto, you badass. You
Otto.
Chad. Like,
Otto.
don't destroy the forest when you turn left there, buddy.
Oh
Like,
my god.
like-
So, Otto backstory. Way more than I would have thought. Now, this has to be because of the way that they're adapting this, where they're giving 27 minutes for an episode,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Where they're putting in, like, just...
with no OP
like,
or ED unless
yeah,
it's in the
like
show.
so
like in the
much
actual
just stuff
scene.
here.
Yep.
Because if I was, like if I was remotely involved with this, I feel like there were parts that you could have very easily, like shortened.
Potentially, yeah.
Just for the sake of it. But no.
But no,
Like
nope.
the amount of just
Let's take our
extra
time.
bits of
Like-
this and yeah, taking their time with it
Yep,
made it just so
oh man,
good.
I love it. Well, because every moment is precious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just in the strategy of making it so that things can progress to the next checkpoint or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
Subaru has also realized that there's more to life than suffering.
Yep.
He can overcome it with the help of his friends, and as
Mm-hmm.
such, this is the
Right.
only time he has, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to be treating it like some disposable thing because he can always just reset.
Yep.
Nope. This is what he's got.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
go.
something really powerful about love
Mm-hmm.
that this story as a whole has kind of kept as the focus.
Yeah.
And Subaru's journey is kind of an exploration of that. You
Yes,
have the
I agree.
self-love aspect.
Yep.
But then you also have the love that is based on whether someone deserves it or not.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's this very, very interesting thing that Emilia brings up
Mm-hmm.
is that she does not feel like Subaru's love for her is something that he should be giving.
Sure.
And it is not just whether she deserves it or not, it's that it's unfounded. She's not
Right.
she's not giving him anything really
Yeah.
for this.
So-
why are you so obsessed? Why are you
Mm-hmm.
so in love with me?
In a lot of ways, so they brought this up a couple times in season 1, where Emilia started to realize, hold on, things don't match up, right? Because Subaru has all these iterations, all this time that he spent with Emilia, and a lot of the time there would be these wonderful moments that they would have where they started to get closer, but
Yep.
then everything resets. Emilia
Yeah.
doesn't remember, but Subaru does,
Right.
right?
So that broke him a little bit and made it really difficult for him to actually keep it all in track.
Yes, and one of the things that I love as a perspective for those scenes in season 1, because
Yes.
it's usually where Subaru is at his most unlikable, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Because like he feels like he has ownership over Emilia and things like that, and I kind of like to see it as almost commentary on like online parasocial sort of relationships where you have the people that have spent so much time with the person,
Yep.
and yet the other person has no idea who they are.
Yep,
Right.
exactly.
You know, and
Yep.
it's great. It's great.
It's very similar to that, yeah.
And quite frankly, I wouldn't have been able to accept Subaru's confession in this second half of the episode
If we hadn't already overcome that
if
big
we
moment
haven't
in
already
season
had to
one, yeah.
overcome had Subaru basically face that and overcome it and things like that, because it's gotten to the point where he's basically like, hey, like or at least the way I see it from the standpoint of this confession, since he's confessed to her before, but this is the like, hey, no, I'm just laying it all out there in a very kind of raw way.
Very honest.
I am in this situation of, you not understanding my love for you, but I totally understand it, right?
Yeah.
And yet there's not really any way that I'll necessarily be able to communicate that, so I'll just keep saying it over and over, and I've come to terms with that, right? And you don't owe me anything,
you
right?
don't owe me anything. That's the big difference
Like
here.
that was one of that's the clincher for this, right? Is the fact that he says, hey, I absolutely believe that you'll find whatever it is, that precious thing to you, and that will make it so that you can push through all of this pain.
Right. Yep.
I hope that's me, but it
Yep.
might not be, right?
Exactly.
But either way,
I still love you.
Either way, I am head over heels in love with you. There is
Yep.
nothing that will ever change that, and it can be the silliest and most trivial things, right?
Yep.
And so, yeah, you wonder, why do I believe you? Why do I believe in you? There's no evidence for it. There isn't.
Yep.
There isn't.
Yep.
And I'm gone. I'm solid gone. And
Solid gone.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
right?
one of the things that I love about this bit here is it brings into question the idea that there's in some ways choice involved, promise, if you will.
Sure.
The idea that Subaru basically broke a promise, and that's something that he can't give her the answer to because there's a lot of things with regards to, the scheming and setting up for return
Yep.
by death, so he can do this all in one iteration. That, he can't really tell her.
If anything, it might have been helpful to tell her that he can't tell her the first time she asked. But
But
details.
the point is that one of the things that's really important about love is that it is not so simple as being a choice or not my choice. There are elements of choices involved that we do, and those usually come across in areas like promises.
Sure.
An example of this is Subaru saying, I will continue to love you with no way to be able to prove it. So him stating that I will continue to love you if you get new memories and all these things will change and stuff like that, that is not based on him feeling compelled to do that. It is him feeling compelled to say it
Sure.
But what he is doing is he is promising to choose, no matter what, to do that in the future.
Exactly.
That's where the choice comes in. It's the commitment. It's basically the falling in love was what brought me to this point.
Right. And that might not have been as much of a choice. I mean, in Subaru's specific case, it kind of was actually, and he did kind of latch onto her. But
right. It was more or less something that was not his choice initially, but has become more and more his choice over the long haul here because she says, "Hey, look at all these things that I've done. You should be angry. You're not treating me fairly, basically." And she, of course, feels like there's an uneven aspect of the relationship because she's not able to measure that back in response. She's getting angry at him for the fact that he's ignoring the promise that he broke.
And I love that Emilia gets into the whole idea of the imbalance of the relationship because that would be very aggravating.
Very aggravating.
That'd be downright infuriating because then you feel indebted, right? You don't feel free in a lot of ways. You feel shackled by the goodwill of the other person.
Yep.
And that even if they say that there is no like intent behind it, like this isn't to purchase some kind of behavior or whatever.
Yep.
There's still that idea of karma, right? And that can be very uncomfortable. And one of the things that is so wonderful about love and so alien about love at the same time is that it completely takes the idea like real love, right? Like it takes the idea of karma and shits it out, right? Like it does not care.
No equivalent exchange.
No equivalent exchange.
None.
That is not how it works, right?
Yep.
Because if it had to be, it wouldn't
get
be love.
initiated.
Yeah, that's called transactions. You know, it's brought up in the way that Otto talks about Subaru, right? It doesn't have to be romantic love even, right? You know, what's Subaru worth? Not really that much.
Not much, no.
But I believe in him.
Yeah.
I believe in him. You know, the sort of undercurrent like subtext there is I love Subaru.
I love Subaru. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, like and so I believe in him. Right. That's how this works. It's the unquantifiable like extra measure. It's the hidden variable that you don't see. Right. That balances everything out.
Yeah. I have memories that I've shared with Subaru that have brought me to this point where I really deeply do care about him. Yeah.
Yep. And as a result, I believe in him.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Even if he's he's young, scrappy, and hungry. But. He's not going to throw away his shot.
And to bring things into a different light, Ram, who doesn't have the highest opinion of Subaru, because in a lot of ways, some of her key memories with Subaru might have been tampered with.
Right. Well, we
know they are. I'm just saying that, like...
On the balance scale, it compensates for Rem, but Rem doesn't exist right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, I love how this basically boiled down to all these people that are able to express their love for each other in not necessarily certain terms, like all the way, end up leading this rage boy on this all the way here to where he's just like, I am so sick and tired of all this nonsense.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yep. The fact that Subaru and Otto, like, Subaru could have been like, oh, why did I not? I had to dig a 40-foot pit with a buddy of mine. It was very important. You'll understand later, but
I almost actually get the vibe that Otto improvised the pit himself.
Oh yeah,
and that was something that he asked the bugs or animals or something like that to do.
Sure.
And it's just his thing of like, I wasn't supposed to do it this way necessarily, but
moles, get the word out to all the moles that are in like a 10-mile radius.
Right.
You know, have them do a thing.
Why don't you dig the shit out of this hole? There's this guy that really hates moles.
Yeah,
and he's
coming.
He's gonna be coming. So you're gonna like get him.
Get him good.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the bugs to help you. And they're like, why would the bugs need to? Okay, sure. I mean, yeah. Screw those guys. Yeah, they was kicking in our holes or everything. Yeah,
man.
But okay, seriousness though. Just the fact that we got all this content basically in the one episode, delightful.
Yep.
But the fact that it feels like two, like we were saying, like kind of almost like chapters in a lot of way, where like one is very much the Otto chapter,
right,
and then the other one is based around the conversation and the confession and the full
all of that, and I
confrontation in a lot of ways between Emilia and Subaru. That's huge, given that this is happening so early in the iteration.
Right. Well, it's in a lot of ways prioritizing. You know,
Yeah.
especially since this wasn't originally part of the plan, and that's
Right.
so that's one of the things that I love. So okay, Subaru is a character. I love him as a main character. He's wonderful, and one of the reasons that it pains me whenever I hear people say that they don't like Subaru as a main character is
Yeah.
that I think one of the reasons that they'll say that is because he is very unlikable at times, right? As a
He
as
makes
a
the
person,
wrong, he
not
makes
as a,
the
not
wrong
as a character.
choices. He doesn't make the best
exactly.
choices at
He
times.
is he is a very flawed person, and that's why I love it, right? Because it's seeing him struggle, seeing him learn, seeing him overcome, right?
Right.
And in situations like this where he cares about Emilia and he's going to talk to Emilia not because he needs this plan to go well, right? And
Yeah.
it's the oh no, I need to fix this thing so that we can get through and I can win my bet with Roswell. Even though I very much does care about that.
Yeah.
But it's also the hold on, there's a miscommunication here that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
There is something that because of my actions, right? Because he could even the fact that he didn't keep his promise, maybe he should have been like, I actually can't do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Who knows?
But now he's here and he's like, hey, this is where I'm at. I know it doesn't seem like it to you, but this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And
some of the words and things that he chose in the midst of his confrontation, Jacob and I were like, ooh, that's
yeah.
okay.
But
okay.
But that's again, it's the thing of he is still that person that he used to be, but he's growing, right? So it's not that he's someone fundamentally different, right? He still does things where I'm like, oh boy,
yeah.
all right,
right.
But he's kind of laying himself bare of saying, hey, here's all my flaws, right? But I love you, and hopefully that balances out for it, right? Like hopefully that makes up for it. And hey, here's the things that, even though you don't remember those timeline iterations where it happened, or maybe she does, I can't remember how it all worked out. But here are the things that I have learned, so that with these things that I'm saying, that is very could go in a bad way if like certain sentences were switched, right? It's the no. What are you gonna do? I know you kind of you don't believe me, but this is how it is. And if there's anything I can do to make you believe, I'll do it.
Yeah. God, I really like this because I was not sold on the love that he had for Emilia in season 1. It was one of the things. It was one of the things that made me kind of disappointed in the show, the way that it ended in season 1.
Oh,
was
gotcha.
I was like, I feel like they could have done things a little bit better with their relationship. I want them to go into a little bit of the problems, because there's a couple fundamental ones that could be. Here we go.
Right.
Season 2, addressing almost all of them.
Yep, because
Fantastic.
this
is really good.
Because the season 1 ending on its own, I wouldn't necessarily mind it as an ending for like, okay, the season ends and the relationship and all that stuff. But considering the problems that Subaru showed earlier in the season, it was like, it felt like those things weren't necessarily being resolved or addressed.
Well, that's because of the timeline iterations.
Exactly.
It can just get undone and it doesn't go into the memory there. That's why it was more of a thing of, I want that to come up as a problem again.
Exactly.
So that it can be dealt with, because it felt like at times that Subaru kind of got away with things just kind of working out.
Because it only matters how it ends.
Because it only matters how it ends.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I really, really wanted to focus on here in the discussion, is that those words came in the flashback that he had because of the trial.
Right.
Now, the trial, I'm going to go out there and say that it's all 100% canon memories of Subaru's.
Sure. Yeah.
It doesn't
With
make
just,
sense
like,
to
some
doubt
of
it
his-
all just for the sake of doubting
Right.
it.
Some of his responses are different because he's in there presently, but all the things that his parents are saying to him,
But in that respect, then, what she said was a response to the things that he said to her in the memory, which means there is a slight tint, maybe, of some echidna influence there.
Well, and that's...
And I found that to be rather pointed in that he said, this are the words that were said from the woman I respect most in the world. I was just like,
whoa. But
I'm like, I understand that you love your mother and stuff, and I would 100% believe that those are the words
oh, yeah.
that his mother would say in that instance there.
Well, that's what makes Echidna.
And yet.
So that's what makes Echidna so insidious, and also makes me love her so much as a character, and the whole idea of greed as a human emotion, because that is incredibly good. It becomes bad when it's then taken into a vacuum and allowed to just like propagate on its own, separate from all the other good stuff to balance it out, right? And that's what Echidna is, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly what he needed to hear then. That's exactly in a lot of ways what Emilia needs to probably hear here. But
Here. Wow. Yeah.
just matters how it ends. So
Yeah.
and you get to decide when it ends.
The thing though that's so insidious about that line, and the way we said there's many ways that could be taken out of context and be really misapplied.
That's the end justify the means in another context.
Is Subaru, if that's the case, why don't we go through and get eventually to the right answer?
Oh yeah, I mean
can do
Roswell
that.
doesn't need to
That
know
was
that you're
my
doing
offer.
the bet multiple times.
That was
know?
literally Echidna's offer. I will get you to the correct best end path. Who cares about the middle, right? It only matters how it ends.
Right. With regards
So that's not true, Subaru.
Well-
in every context, that is not true.
Well, so-
the main way in which you need to be careful about this is that you are doing this one iteration thing because the middle does matter, and your suffering is not something that you should just put on yourself because you don't have to, continue with it happening in that timeline because you went and did Return by Death. No, the middle does matter. So
right, because it's the middle does matter, and that's the lesson that Subaru has gotten recently, is that yes, the middle very much does matter, so cherish it, right?
yeah.
But if you're freaking out about the middle, if it helps,
Ask for help then.
we'll ask for help, and remember, this isn't the end.
Yes. None of this is the end.
This
eventually too shall pass.
This too shall pass. If you're struggling, if you're whatever, right? Well, hey, there might come a time where you figure it out.
Right.
Where you're not struggling quite so much anymore. Where the things that you're struggling on are things that you wouldn't even have been able to handle currently.
Definitely.
So, yeah. But can we also talk about Otto's backstory?
Otto's backstory. So he has a divine protection that gives him the ability to speak with animals. This was something that they told us back in season 1, a while ago.
But now we get
something
the full,
casually mentioned.
just introduction for that, ramifications of it. Pun very much intended.
Yes.
But
very,
oh my God.
very good presentation of it. The idea that he can't even hear the words of those that are his loved ones around just
yeah, because
so
there's
good.
Because having a side character that has a fun little power like that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that's great. But to have it really feel like a part of the world, these divine protections, and the idea that yes, Otto, he's a character, we love him, he's being great with Subaru now, but where did he come from? He does have a past and a history and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And most of the time with creating stories and stuff, you make that and then you sort of keep it on the back burner. You don't necessarily have to show it, but then you write with the knowledge of it, and then the audience can tell, right?
Yeah.
And they can certainly tell when you don't have that. But the fact that we get to see this here, it makes the world of ReZero feel more like an actual world, right? Because ReZero as a show, especially with how it started out, was incredibly poking fun at the isekai genre and all that stuff. So here you have just sort of like a basic fantasy world, right? You've got furries and all this stuff and magic, and here you go, right? And the chocobos that pull carts and all that stuff, right? It's great.
Yeah. It's very, very referential to its own thing, and yet the protagonist is an entirely just in some ways just smack in the face of all other isekai protagonists and being like,
exactly,
y'all should get good, scrubs,
right?
Because we all know who's
ReZero very much is carried by its protagonist, and it's
very
wonderful.
much so.
But
But
one of the things that ReZero has time and time again shown is that it also cares about its world. But it doesn't do it in ways that feel like it's forcing it down your throat or doing a bunch of exposition about something that you haven't been allowed to care about yet.
Yeah.
And by giving this sort of setting of, oh yeah, the world and divine protections and how they show up and the idea of keep this a secret so that no one tries to like manipulate you or or whatever, it's like, yeah, that's good stuff.
These are all very simple, easy to follow connections here.
But then we take something as simple as speaking to animals that a young merchant happens to get, or the child of merchants, I'm guessing, And no, we're going Superman with it, where, it's the, oh my God, I can hear all the voices and everything, and he has to get help through that. And it's this wonderfully endearing, touching story and whatnot of the older brother that helps the younger brother with, figuring out ways to communicate. Oh my God, that's fantastic. Yeah. But then at the same time, we get to see him then use it randomly because he gets in a tough situation where his younger sibling is like, no, he can do it. I promise. And it's like, what do I do? Oh, I'll show them. Oh, but wait, no, it's
he brings a plague upon a city.
He brings a plague
and has to leave the family that got him to where he was at right there. His brother.
Well, and then later, the whole thing of the finding out how the rumors started and things like that. And then, it gets him in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
Which I love, by the way, the idea of using animals as an information network. Yeah, because if you can just talk to them all the time, you'd find out all kinds of things.
Oh, did he not have to leave because of the bug plague?
Yeah, it wasn't the bugs. It was, but that started it later when they were like, oh, you whatever bug boy
freak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So that led to him being more cavalier with his powers.
You've been with 8 guys.
Yeah. You're the 8th guy. Yeah.
You can speak to animals and bugs very well, but
they hated him because he spoke the truth.
Right? Yeah. Oh man.
Otto out here be like, yes. I was persecuted, I was hated, for I spoke the truth, the truth of the animals.
No. See. What it really was is he used his stando power to have the bugs all gather coins.
Harvester.
Yeah. I just with him talking to the Beatles and then him showing up with a bag of money. I just couldn't help in the money's coins because it's a fantasy world and everything. I just couldn't help but think of Harvester.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and then we get to see how he got brought into the story, and here we are.
And he gets the full-on first OP of part 1 of season 2 playing while he's going through this. He's kiting Garf.
Yep.
Ram comes in to save him at the last second, and they're all laughing about their connections to Barasa and yet freaking Otto. You better not be dead or anything.
Oh, he's fine. He hustled Garf good.
Okay.
I'm sure it's all going to be fine.
But the combo of just both of these segments of the story being done just so in depth, so thoroughly, I am so excited for what comes next.
Yep.
And then having Garf show up
covered
outside,
in blood,
while you have the classic almost kind of pose here with the
battered
lovers,
protagonist and then the girl
lovers,
on his arm.
The lovers who just went through hell coming out of the cave.
Exactly.
And they're leaning on each other.
Yeah.
And then you have this just strong magical being just
someone
coming
who
up
could
being
squish them easily.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely could destroy them.
Yes.
Emilia has magic, but there's no way she would have a shot here.
She doesn't have Puck anymore.
She doesn't have Puck, right.
Which is kind of a problem.
So, you know what I think's going to happen here? Because Garf says, it ain't like I was waiting for you. Because it's, more like he's, probably a little bit aware of what's going on. But it is maybe a thing of where Subaru's perfect. Now we can talk.
Oh, nice.
Is that it's this thing of where it's
you've been prepped, basically.
Been prepped, exactly.
All right.
So now we can have this conversation where
I
he's
was waiting.
Garf, you think your fights are over? No. We're gonna use you.
Right.
You're gonna come with me, and we're gonna make this happen.
I like to think that
Would
while
you like to go
Ram-
save your sister? Well, wait. Actually,
Yeah.
can he even?
No, he can't leave.
He can't leave.
He's
That's right.
half-blood.
That's right. He can't. Yeah.
But I do like to think that while Ram was beating the shit out of Garf, that at some point Otto just started talking. He's like, so, this is the situation.
Yeah.
You know.
I just love it because it's off screen, so still we have no idea how things went with Garf over there.
But I'm hoping
But I think it's working. I
Ram
think,
and Otto
I think
are
things
alive.
are working here.
You know, so...
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yo, this was really good. Also, little side note. Jumping back again to the little
confession?
bit. No, with Otto. That little bit where his brother is teaching him how to write and stuff. That gave me such a feels thing because my youngest brothers specifically were the ones that I taught how to kind of read a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was specifically one of them who, like me, hated writing. That there was a time when I was more helping him with the reading side of things, but he was, frustrated with me talking about how hard writing was and stuff like that. I was just like, yeah, man, I've been in the exact same situation. Like, I would just hate the idea of being forced to write in cursive, guys. For those of you that are, don't even know what that is.
Yeah, right. I don't think that's being taught in schools
anymore at all.
Because
it's
it's not needed.
Yeah. But there's this nostalgia that I felt just seeing the older brother coming and being like, hey, let me
same.
be there and help you with
Yeah,
that.
we were homeschooled as little kids,
so good.
and the idea of the older siblings helping to teach the younger
so
ones,
wholesome.
that was great.
So good.
Great. Yeah.
But
Yep.
okay. Really, really good second episode. We got the action, we got the
did.
drama, we got the conversation, we got even some freaking comedy in there with Otto. Otto, how is this
Otto is too
tertiary
awesome.
character getting upgraded so much?
Yep. Oh man. Talking about wanting to open a shop one day and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Garf to get the same upgrade.
Ooh.
I want Garf to get the same upgrade here.
I want Ram to get the same upgrade.
Well, Ram has already gotten a lot of focus.
Well, okay, that's true.
And we have gotten her
Yeah.
backstory. So I think
That's-
she's
okay,
already
that-
upgraded.
Sure.
The unfortunate thing is just that because, Rem has been,
Right. yeah. That does
it
complicate things a
causes
wee
some
bit.
issues with that. But I think Garf deserves something like that as well, given that there's the brother-sister dynamic.
Yeah.
That's just kind of there's a barrier between that right now. But
Also, one of the things that I want to point out, since that, because of the issues that I have with Subaru's confession to Emilia in the latter half, it would boil down to the fact that he wasn't really listening to her. He was more of just he was making it kind of very much about him, if that makes sense.
He was being greedy.
Right, he was being greedy.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
exactly,
he learned from the best. But when it came down to it, even though he didn't comment on it or anything like that, and it was a fair bit later for him to notice this, but he did notice, the crystal's cracked.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Puck's
she
also
did,
a liar.
Well, right. Well,
Okay.
she did say Puck left too, and he did be kind of like,
Right.
okay.
And that's something where it's the because I don't expect Subaru to be some perfect person or whatever,
Totally.
most conscientious or whatever. But you did good there, Subaru.
Yeah.
You did good. I like seeing this growth.
One of the things that is a character flaw, I would say, in Emilia that I really like, because it's very realistic, is a little bit of this thing of where she might have made essentially a demand of someone, like Subaru, maybe, and maybe even Puck in a lot of ways.
That's unreasonable?
That's unreasonable.
Sure.
Now, the issue is not that she's making those demands. We all make demands that are unreasonable at times.
Yeah.
But it's the idea that it's important that you communicate to that person after they've made the demand that's unreasonable, that they're making an unreasonable demand.
Yes.
However, with Emilia here, there's a possibility that this is something where she doesn't want to necessarily give them the opportunity to respond. And
Yeah, if anything, I would love to see some true conflict resolution between Subaru and Emilia, because for the most part, when they do conflict resolution, it tends to be one of them kind of talking past the other person until they
other person,
or at the other person, until like one of them gives, and it's usually because there's some lesson that they can learn and stuff, but then it's one person learning a lesson rather than both,
Well, I think that's just life though, but like
sure,
nothing is ever so cut and dry.
Oh yeah, no, but I would love to see them at some point basically be like, what you're doing here isn't helping, or or I don't know, maybe that's
No, that's a reasonable thing to ask. I just think that they're not mature enough for that yet.
Right, exactly.
The thing that I was bringing up with this is that there's something similar to that, is that Emilia is now experiencing the effects in a lot of ways of what Subaru has been going throughout the show.
Right. Yep. Repeating the same suffering thing over and over again. When will it ever end?
But also she's now getting memories that are from an iteration, essentially. Yes. Kinda. It is just her past. That she has no grid for.
Sure.
And
right.
What she kind of asked for Subaru was basically to be like, will you be by my side?
Mm-hmm. Let me lean on you because I don't think I can handle this on my own.
Right. What's interesting about that, though, is that people aren't perfect.
No.
So Subaru,
and like Subaru left,
yeah. People won't always be able to be there for you.
And certainly not in the way that you need them to.
Especially not in the way or the timing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that too.
But as Rem said, Subaru is the guy of timing.
Yes, that's right.
At this point here, she was in a really low spot. Mm-hmm. And she could have fallen back into that despair that we saw in another iteration.
Mm-hmm.
But because he was here,
it's okay.
She's able to, at the very least, accept his imperfect form of wanting to be by her side in the thing that she requested.
Mm-hmm.
And yet the part that's really lovely about this is that she's right in that, but he wasn't there for the previous one. Mm-hmm. Why would he be here for this one? And it's like, wait, hold on. Is that all it takes? Is that all it takes? So there's some really cool dynamics of how it's not fully resolved from the emotional standpoint, and yet she is willing to have him by her side now.
Right.
And that was a big step for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because and that's why he needed to bludgeon her in some ways with the conversation enough to where she understood that he was actually honest and serious here.
Because you running away, Emilia, that actually isn't a bad thing. That can be a really good thing because it can tell the other person that you are not doing well.
That you need help.
Right?
Now, and it's not the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, right. But it's a way.
It is a way to tell other people, like crying,
yep,
that you need help.
It's a signal, right?
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be the best way to be away.
Right.
Yes.
Well said.
In the same way, I'm using that word a lot, but when Subaru started repeating the lines that Rem said to him,
yes,
as an audience member, I loved it. Right. Excellent. Great callback. Great way to remind us of how much Rem had an influence on him,
and she's still showing
that
him.
Right. She's still kind of showing him
love.
Right. But then also that Subaru has taken that in enough so that he can see that Emilia is in a situation that might be similar to his.
Yep.
Right? But it also points out with how Emilia responds to that, because that really felt like the first part where she started to reject it, right? Yep. Is that this doesn't quite add up. Mm-hmm. In other words, maybe she can tell that those aren't his words. Mm-hmm. She can tell that maybe he's because noticing similarities in someone else's situation to yours can be very helpful, because then you can have a better understanding maybe of how best to help them, because you know what it was like for you when you were in that situation.
Yep.
But that being
people are different.
People are different.
Yep.
And the situation might not be exactly the same. And
it
the
almost
way
definitely
that they,
isn't this.
It's almost definitely isn't the same. And the way that they want to be helped, or if they want to be helped at all, right? The response that they need in that situation might be different, right? So I loved that Subaru was able to say awesome stuff like that, and yet it wasn't able to truly be received by Emilia, because when you think about it, that's not your flavor, Subaru. Right? Your flavor was more of the stuff that came after when you kept saying it, and you were like, no, you don't get it. Like I am so ridiculously in love with you. It's not even funny, and that's not going to change. You know, so there you go.
So here they are. They might actually be a proper couple now.
Maybe, just maybe. They didn't
and
kiss
it might
after
be.
all.
Yeah. That's a rare thing in anime.
And I'm sorry for the I love Otto that I said during the reaction.
But if this is we're gonna do it all in one iteration, which means it could be the one that she remembers.
She remembers. Yeah.
Oh my God, Subaru.
Yeah. Well,
You might
wouldn't
have
that
just,
be a thing?
You might have just won the day. Like not the day, like everything here. I also
Sad to see the next one.
I also like how it's implied that there was a lot of time spent in there because when like a lot of time was spent
Because it's sunset.
because when Garfield comes up to her, like they're kind of out of time by being like they're outside of time's effect really by kind of being
Right, whether
inside.
literally or
no,
metaphorically.
not literally. Just the idea that they spent a lot of time in there.
Yes.
And it starts in the morning, you know, with Otto. But then at the end of it, the sun is setting already.
Right. So they've got one day left, basically, or a day and a night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, holy shit.
Good luck.
Good stuff. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
If you want to... We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.